I'm getting used to this already.
Yeah, you're getting used to it. Nice. One more sip of good coffee.
Like 4 coffee today already.
Fourth coffee already. It's about, let me look at my watch, it's about 10, 11.
Like 12.
Anyway, good to have you back here again with Henry Bidal, my friend. Good to see you. Good to have you back here on the podcast.
Always a pleasure.
The last podcast was a blast, man. A lot of people said they really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Enjoyed the topic.
I was doubting to watch it because I was ashamed of my performance.
Oh.
But here, second round.
Second round. Why a second round? We've had some cool conversations. I really love talking to you. We talk about the man we want to become and the man we want to build and the future we want to build. And I think a lot of men crave to get information like this on how to become the man that can create their most powerful life.
More down to earth.
More down to earth. That's also the setting of this podcast. Obviously, we're at the rice fields, you cannot see it, but we're down to earth. And yesterday or the day before, I spoke with Henry about a topic that interested me, and that's why I wanted to turn on this camera. Henry, we were talking about women. You know, finding your dream wife. You know, finding a wife. A lot of men want to find that wife. They want to be a father, a husband. They want to get a good partner. They want to start a family. And a lot of boys, when you're still a boy, you just play around. You know, you waste time, you play around, you go out, you have sex, you do things. But once you grow older, your approach changes, or you might be wanting to have a new approach to how to find your dream woman. And you were talking about something very nice, which you said, or which made me think that you're really taking control of finding it, or at least increasing the chances of finding it. So can you walk me through the process of what you're doing when you start to date someone? First you said, I'm not playing around. So it starts with the mindset.
Well, that's really important because if you're going to date someone, you have to think about what you want from dating.
Yeah.
You want to play around? Well, that depends on your values and what you want. But at least from me, I don't want to play around. It's something that I don't like.
No.
Doesn't make me feel good. So I think that's my approach. At least that's my approach.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna date, it has to be meaningful. At least understand the person that's in front of me instead of wanting something from the person that's in front of me.
Yeah.
That's a much better framework because it puts you on a position to discover who's in front of you.
Yes.
And I think that's more genuine and authentic and honest.
That's really nice. So the first thing, and I agree with you, is to really try to understand the person that's in front of you. Instead of just like seeing a girl, approaching a girl and wanting to have sex with her, or
Exactly.
instead of doing that, just be genuine and try to understand the person that's in front of you. Try to look inside their world, understand their world, and find out who they are and what they want also. I think that's a good step to switch your mindset. Instead of wanting something too bad, want to understand them as a first step to work from there. I think that's really important. We talked also yesterday about, usually it takes about 6 to 8 months for someone to finally reveal herself.
Oh,
you know?
yeah. Yeah, so in my experience, it takes, I mean, after a couple of months, like 4 months, 6 months, it's impossible just to keep faking it.
Yeah.
It's really difficult to keep faking habits or situations or appearances. I mean, the mask falls off.
Yeah.
You can sustain it. It's a lot of energy to alter reality, and so you will have like some glimpses of the essence of the person in those 6 months.
Yeah, so usually it takes about 6 months to maybe sometimes up to a year to finally see someone's true self. And then you might realize it's not the partner for you. And I feel like a lot of men are struggling with this. They're starting relationships. After 6 months to a year, they finally see who the person really is. And then they break up again. And they are in this cycle where this keeps happening. So we were talking about yesterday how to actually decrease that time. You know, how to decrease that time from having to wait 6 months or 12 months to finally have someone reveal themselves, to decreasing that time to maybe a month or maybe 2 months, so you can really know if this person is worthy of your time and your investment as a man, or you should focus on other things. So I like your approach. Can you walk us
Yes.
through the approach
I'm
that
gonna
you're doing?
I'm gonna give a framework first.
Yes, we're gonna get a framework,
Of
guys.
A framework, yeah. Responsibility. My responsibility is to carry myself the best way possible. So it's not about finding someone, it's becoming someone that you want to be, and then act in life towards the values you have and the things you want.
So that's attracting. So first one is taking responsibility.
It's your personal responsibility and
Yes.
accountability for the decisions and the actions you do. And you have to be honest with yourself and with others. Otherwise, it's like you're trying to manipulate someone.
Yes.
Yeah, you're trying to manipulate your own reality, trying to fake something, or manipulating other one, trying to do an impression of someone that you are not.
Yeah.
And that's the mask.
Yeah.
That usually takes like 6 months to fail off.
Also your own mask.
Your own mask as well.
Yeah.
And you have to be really aware of this because, of course, if you really like someone, you're gonna maybe do all the things possible at your hand to be liked by that person. And that's one of the things that you have to let it go.
Yeah, you have to avoid.
You have to avoid doing those things. Doing things for the other person to feel better, well, that's okay because but you have to be honest. And also, a good question, or a good pair of questions that you can do is to understand the other one, or the person that you are meeting. This is regarding, it doesn't matter if it's a male or a female or whatever. It's about the person, yeah? So you can ask questions. What do you want in life? What do you want to do? What are you expecting? What are your red flags? What your past experience in relationship? You can ask all the hard questions at the beginning, like the craziest, hardest questions you can imagine, respectful questions, but to understand the other person better and also to know the other person.
Yeah. Good.
And be honest.
Be honest.
You have to be honest.
Yeah.
That's the main driver. If you're honest, the other person probably will be honest as well.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you set the example.
Yeah.
You take the lead as a man also in
Exactly.
how she's gonna respond to you.
You have to be responsible for the things you're gonna do and say.
Yeah.
And then there is I had trust issues in the past because of previous experiences.
Yeah.
And we are afraid of, okay, what I'm gonna do next.
Oh yes.
Am I gonna trust?
Yeah.
So this is a big question, and it took me, and it takes a lot of time to think about. Say, okay, you have a choice: trust or not trust.
Yeah.
If I don't trust, okay, what is the outcome of not trusting? Well, it's a bunch of maybe insecurities, doubts. I don't know what I'm dealing with. But if you trust at the beginning, you are giving the other person a possibility of showing you what she or he is.
Beautiful.
And then you can act in
Yeah.
regard of that answer.
Yeah.
And then you reevaluate all the time. Because trust is a process of constant action and reaction. I don't know if that's the correct way to say it, but you have a response, and then you see that response, and then you can reevaluate. Oh,
Yeah.
this person say the truth. Their actions, or his or her action, it's exactly what they say.
Yeah.
So the trust feeling increased.
Yeah.
Then if you see that they are not corresponding their actions with what they are saying, well, their trust goes down.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a good way of, maybe we did a little bit of a mess speaking it here because it's a really complex,
I will summarize it.
it's a really complex process in which requires understanding, being truthful, honest. It's a constant negotiation
Yeah.
with the other part, and a lot of sacrifice as well. A little bit of a sacrifice because you are trying to understand someone, and you are giving your time in exchange of
Yeah.
understanding someone else. So
Yeah.
it's like a duality there.
There's some. I want to quickly summarize it.
And of course, my experience is going to be totally different from the experience of another individual.
Yeah.
So you can have many different outcomes and answers doing exactly the same.
Yeah.
So it's not this is what my framework actually was. If it's working, I don't know, let's see. But at least it's honest and straightforward, and it's with good intentions all the time.
Yeah. Thanks, man. I like that. So for me, summarizing this, my take on it, my perspective is, first is, you are really in charge of your future, and you know exactly what it is you want, and you take control by from the beginning saying, I'm not here to play around, I'm not here to fuck around, I want to build meaningful connections and find out if there's something between us. So there's honesty also to yourself. Thanks, sir.
You're welcome, sir.
So that's the first part. Making the decision as a man to stop fucking around is a big first decision. And sometimes this comes with age. When you're 18, obviously, you might not think about these things. But when you're nearing or getting into your 30s, almost like me, the priorities change, and I'm not here to fuck around anymore, you know? So that's a first good step. Then the second one you said is taking full responsibility for yourself. So it's becoming the man that you want to be and creating the life that you want to create, and therefore also, in my opinion, not really being needy and wanting something, but because being the man, you will attract an equal woman into your life. So the second one is taking full responsibility for your life and becoming that man. And then yesterday also we were talking about how we have conversations with people and how we approach people is like a filter. We are really honest about our emotions, about who we are, where we want to go, our flaws, our possible solutions. We are completely honest. When we meet someone new, we're open. This will filter. Some people will say, that's strange. Someone I barely know opens, and I don't like that. And some woman, the right woman for you, will probably say, this is what I really like.
Exactly.
And I want to open myself also. You create this ground where they can open also. So the question is, how can we reduce this time from 6 to 12 months to maybe 2 or 3? It starts by you taking responsibility, opening up completely. And then what you said, really nice, when you start dating, ask them, challenge them, you know, go through the list of questions. What are your values? What are your red flags? What's the life you want to create? You're literally speeding up the process of time.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
How do you see yourself in 5
Where?
years? Where? How? Do you want to have kids? Whatever, all these things.
Exactly, because if those things are important for you, you should ask them.
Exactly, yeah. So that really speeds up this process where they cannot avoid not being themselves if you are completely being themselves.
Because relationship is a commitment.
Yes.
And it's a decision. It's a decision.
It's a decision, and it's also
So
a mirror.
what's the difference of doing the decision now and doing it in like 7 months after like playing around?
Yeah.
That's not honest from my point of view.
The decision to commit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, man. So for me, this was really something interesting, that especially that list of questions, and being completely honest yourself and knowing what you want and why. Combining that will speed up the process of getting to know someone, getting to know a woman within like weeks, months.
Yeah, and also understanding what I want. What I want. So it's what do you want in your next 5 years? I mean, you have to have your own things clear first
Yes.
to then go
Yeah.
and do something about this.
Yeah.
Otherwise, if you don't figure it out your life, first figure out your life
Yeah.
and then go and try to build something with someone. Because that requires a lot of daily effort, sacrifices, and time.
Yeah.
So
So if you want to be that man, you have to be honest, you have to take responsibility for your life, and you have to be serious, and you have to take a different mindset or approach towards women, where you just really want to understand that person in their core and find out where they want to go and find out if it's a place you can go together. So for me, that was really helpful, and also be open in your communication and just open up to new people, speak your truth, shine your light, and this will be a filter for all the people you meet, friends, possible partners, and this will really filter out the people you shouldn't waste your time on and the people you should invest in.
the key question is, what do you want?
What do you want?
What do you want?
What do you want?
What do you want? You have to have that clear
Yeah.
for yourself and the person that you are maybe dating.
Thanks, Henry. Good stuff. Good stuff.
I love you, man.
Love you, brother. Nice.